I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire wrong. So our orders get all backed up. We're drowning in paperwork, then actually drowning. Carol is fighting off sharks with a stapler, and pirates are pillaging the office copier, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant goes beyond the resume, using unique insights to deliver a smarter shortlist. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
You open the fridge, there's nothing there. So what's it gonna be? Greasy pizza? Sad drive-through burgers? Dish by Blue Apron is for nights like that. These are the pre-made meals of your dreams. At least 20 grams of protein, no artificial flavors or colors, no chopping, no cleanup, no guilt. Keep the flavor, ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Hello everyone and welcome to How Are You, the podcast. It's Gav and you join us in the Hilton Garden beer garden. Still getting in the beer garden even though it's January. It's balmy weather today. I've just had to take my coat off because I'm actually red hot, and it wasn't because of the game, I don't think. I think it was just a strange atmosphere coming out the ground there. Sunderland winning 2-1 against Crystal Palace, coming from behind, having started fairly flat, I would say. Managed to work it out after half time, and in the end were probably deserved winners. Joined, as always, by Sam Blakey. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. You all right? It was a hard-fought 3 points, wasn't it? Like, I'm trying to cast my mind back, but at home especially, might be the most hard-fought 3 points. I'm not talking like battle, because I don't think Palace had anything about them. I meant more like just Sunderland getting over the line, dragging us. Do you know what I mean? It just something felt weird today. It was just, I think it was because the pressure, not necessarily the pressure, but everything going on with Palace in the week. It was sort of on us to win the game, and I don't think that suits us.
Yeah, I would probably say more routine than anything. Felt a bit routine in the end, but we'll get on to it. Also with us is Ant Watson. Hello, mate.
All good. Good 3 points. I'm happy as Larry, to be honest.
Yeah.
Really happy.
I agree. I mean, it's a good starting point, that, Sam, about the atmosphere. I think there was just a strange feeling coming out the ground, almost like, yep, job done, 3 points, we're over it. There wasn't like, considering we came from behind and we scored 2 very good goals, it just felt all a bit routine. I don't think Palace really gave much of a threat in that second half, and maybe that's why, because if they'd maybe bombarded the box a bit more and it had been backs to the walls, yeah, fair enough, maybe we would have reacted a little bit differently to winning the game. But I just think in the end, Sunderland got over the line and did it fairly routinely, and you can totally see why Palace are in a bad place, because I thought first half decent, they pass it around well. I thought they actually broke pretty well on the counter-attack, managed to work it into those little pockets in between the midfield and defence really well, and did cut us open at times. But then second half, I just think we were just a different team. We came out, we looked like we knew what we were doing, and got the job done, and I really did. I quite enjoy that, actually. I think as the days go on, we'll probably sit back and we'll think, yeah, that was a really good win, that, because we were getting beat and we weren't at the races for a period of the game. Managed to make it into a routine victory.
As far as cliches go, it was a potential banana skin, could we say? But what you're talking about there, how many times this season, it's no coincidence. It's Reggie, the players, both will sort of fail teams out first half, see what they're doing. And then we'll come out the second half and it's like, right, we know what they're going to do, so we're going to do it better, or we're going to counter it. And it was exactly the same today. And no, the players were great, and the lads who came back, like, we'll probably get on to like Ronaldo. How good's he? Do you know what I mean? Like, left back, left wing back. And then on the other side, Mukiele, I don't even know if I could dare say where he was playing today. He was just playing well wherever he was, when he's class, and some of the signings were made this season. And all orchestrated by Xhaka in the middle. Even when he's not having his best of games, he's calming everything down. And then when you've got Siddiqui buzzing off him, it's going to be hard to stop us, really, especially at this place.
That's it, isn't it? And I think you can see why we're unbeaten. We're going into mid-January. We're still unbeaten at home. Is it Burnley next at home? Yeah, we've had some ding-dongs with them down the years, but fabulous position to be in. And like I say, we'll get onto the action in a minute, but just felt like we kind of earned that in the end, I think. I don't think it was one of them games where, where the lads were really on the ropes, particularly very often. I just think, but considering we were 1-0 down, Sunderland teams in the past have folded in that position. We didn't.
Definitely, especially when, sorry, I've got a really bad voice, but especially when, I think when they scored, we were starting to get on top, weren't we? We were starting to create a little bit more. And then they scored, and you know what was really pleasing to see was the fact we scored straight away. The fact we got it straight after that. Went into half time. It was 1-1. It was level pegging, and in the second half we've just controlled it. And I found it similar to the Everton game where we always had that element of control, but it was just like, obviously there was a bad decision last week, and it was just that, we switched off from a corner, and they've scored a goal out of nowhere. I thought we were still comfortable in the game, and like I say, the second half I thought it was only going to be one winner. It was just a matter of time when we got the goal, and when we did, it was a beautiful finish. So it's good, and the fact that we're seeing now a routine that in the Premier League, and we're newly promoted and everything like that. The fact that that's a routine win against the FA Cup winners, who who are a very good side as well when they're on. And now they're having the difficulties now, but it's still a good side we've just beat there, and we're seeing now it's routine. That says a lot for me.
It's mad, isn't it? And like you're talking about earned there, and touched on it. I don't think there's anyone who earned it more than Brian Brobbey today. I'm sick of talking about referees, so I'll try and glaze over it, but he was getting nothing off that ref, and he didn't stop. He didn't stop battling. He didn't stop being Brobbey, holding it up, backing in, and in the end scored a brilliant goal. And he's proper grown into being our number 9, isn't he? It's great to watch.
Yeah, I thought he was he man of the match today, would you say, Brobbey? There's a few contenders, I think if you go around the pitch, I think if you go around the pitch, Nordy, you mentioned, played really well. 2 centre-halves were fantastic and dealt with Mateta. For a period there, Mateta was getting the better of them, but by the end of the game, I just think we were in full control of him. You mentioned Ronaldo. Wow. Just never put a foot wrong all day. Siddiqui, Xhaka in the middle. Xhaka had that one pass at the start, which nearly put them in on goal, by the way. I mean, he's got that in him occasionally, and Xhaka, but he doesn't tend to do it more than once in a game, and But
then Roofs does what Roofs does, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fabulous save. But Xhaka and Siddiqui were brilliant. Enzo just gets better with every single game. I thought Mundell's attacking play at times was a little bit lacklustre, but in possession, really good and battled hard. And I can see why he stopped on the pitch as long as he did, because defensively he was really good and really well organised. And then you go to the other side of the pitch, Trey Hume, strange selection, I think, maybe playing him on the right, but I could see it. He was an outlet. He offered us that ability. Basically, he was just there to basically play triangles between the midfield and Lafay, really. And it worked quite well. And actually, a lot of the attacking play from Sunderland was concentrated down the right. Long balls in behind either Enzo, Hume or Brobbey, depending on who was highest up the pitch. And then to Brobbey, I think was absolutely fantastic. He was probably my man of the match, Brobbey. I just think that was an all-round brilliant centre-forwards performance. He battled, didn't have loads of chances. The one that he did get, took it. I mean, an unbelievable finish off the underside of the bar. He would be mine, but I mean, anybody else you would maybe put a hat on and say he was maybe man of the match?
I think Luke Yearley. I think I would. I just love what he's like the right level of mental, but class. Do you know what I mean? He'll pop up at left wing, and he's just gonna At one point, I think he got the ball at right back, and he did a bad touch, and everyone goes, oh, and he just flicks it over the defender.
Like Nyron Nosworthy if he was good.
I don't know what to say about that, but
Yeah, what about you, Antu? Who would you say was a contender for man of the match or man of the match?
I'm going to throw Hume out there, to be honest. I thought he was, as you said, with his triangles and everything like that, but I thought his work rate was outstanding today. I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and he did a big part in the first goal as well. And I just thought every time he had it, he didn't lose it, did he, today? It's a bit of a foreign position for him to play wide on the wing. Could have had a goal as well, one for a great save from Henderson at the end. But I thought today, he was really, really good. And then he's gets a little bit of stick to him for sometimes he gets caught a little bit at right back and everything like that. But I thought today he looked like a proper Premier League footballer in a really awkward position for him. So I thought he was excellent. But I'll throw again Mucky Elliott there. I
can't remember in real time watching someone, I'm talking about Hume, get so close to his first Premier League goal. I mean, it's he's getting closer and closer and closer. And I don't know how close he can get before he scores. He has a free header. Unlucky, should score, and then a great save by Henderson. But even he's playing in this advanced position, he's having more shots. And I think he's either going to score the worst goal we've ever seen or a banger. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be no in between. I remember Liverpool, did he hit the bar? And he's him and Ballard are so similar to me in the fact that it's so. I feel proud watching how much they've stepped up. It's great to see. It's a bit like I'm saying then, Hume in this position. Imagine saying last season Hume's going to play right wing in the Premier League, and we're talking about him potentially being man the match in a win. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Their goal, quickly touch on that, was never a free kick. Ever a free kick. You said you didn't want to talk about the ref. That referee was fucking shite. I'm sick of saying it. Like, I'm the same as you.
Say it every week. That's the
He is the worst ref since the last one.
I'm just. I kind of don't want to have to sit here and go, referee was shite, but he was, and he made it all about him. Was it Rob Jones?
He's got a big show.
Yeah, he made it all about. There was one where we tried to play a free kick really quickly, and there was no reason why we couldn't have, and he pulled it back, and I'm just like, what are you doing? The amount of times Brobbey got hauled to the ground and just nothing.
But the free kick you're talking about it highlights how crap these referees are. Brobbey, because he's not even that big, he's strong and he battles, but he doesn't chuck himself, doesn't get a free kick. Mateta is more streetwise, a foot taller, chucks himself forward, swan dives, foul, free kick. Mm-hmm. How crap are these refs? Do they face any action? Do you know what I mean? Do they watch anything back? Are they told, like, are they questioned, why did you give that way?
We're told they are, but you never see it. You never seem to see it in the games. But yeah, they get that free kick. As a result, they win a corner, which they then score from. Look, we've got to do better. I think it was. Yeah, I mean, I'll need to see it back. But was it Pino scored the goal? It was a bit messy, but
it's like floated in, didn't it? It's opposite end to me. I don't know what.
Yeah, it was. Probably have to wait till the pod in the morning when the lads talk about that to maybe get a bit more of a measured analysis, because it was a bit haphazard, but it goes in the back of the net. And then you touched on it beforehand. The reaction was fantastic. It was like immediate. We went for it. There was a little move before we even scored, which was great, and then the move in which we scored from was fantastic. The pass from Granit Xhaka was absolutely unbelievable. And yes, Nordy is in a mile of space. Palace will be questioning themselves and saying, why is he allowed that much room to get a ball into the box? But Enzo times his run perfectly. Lovely finish. It's too well placed for Henderson to get, even though Henderson dives the right way. Too well placed for him to get near it, and it goes in the back of that. Great response, and that set the tone. It was like, right, we're straight back into the game. We want it, but a word for Enzo, Sam, because he came under a bit of criticism, and rightly so, for that penalty against Brentford. Yeah. But then his response at Everton was unbelievable. Was fantastic at Everton. Scored an unbelievable goal at Everton, then puts his penalty away with aplomb. And then today, again, I think he's really grown into a top-level player. Like, you can see just a difference in him from being around better players than he was in the team with last year. And today, again, just ran things, I think.
As a contractor, I don't pay for materials I don't use. So why would I pay for stuff I don't need in my mobile plan? That's why my Biz plan from Verizon Business is so perfect. Now I can choose exactly what I want, and I only pay for what I need.
Right now, with my Biz plan, get our best price, as low as $25 a line. Visit Verizon.com/business to get started today. New lines only. Price per month with 5+ lines. Includes auto pay and paper-free billing and promotional discounts. Taxes, fees, economic adjustment charge. Applicable add-ons, prices, and terms apply. Guarantee applies to base monthly rate and stated discounts only. Add-on prices additional. Offers in March 31st, 2026.
New Year, same extra value meals at McDonald's. So now get 2 snack wraps, plus fries, and a medium soft drink for just $8.
For limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
Well, we've sat on this podcast and we've spoke about his ability, and there's no doubt about it. But the last 2 weeks have shown his character, which is a massive thing in this team. I'm not going to pretend like my head didn't fly off when he did that penalty against Brentford. But I went to the Hill Dickinson Stadium last week.
Feels weird saying that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it did. I really, really tried hard not to say Goodison. And he just, like, that finish, that's what he's about. And then even from the step up and take the first penalty for us and just smash it against Pickford, who we all know is an excellent penalty saver. Like, that's what he's about. And then today, did it look like today or against Everton, anything fazed him? Do you know what I mean? He can play anywhere. And I remember, I don't know what pod it was, but you said that Labrie described him, or fans described him as, when he was in France, as his Swiss Army knife. He just played him anywhere. He's a bit like Mukiele. He'll pop up anywhere on the pitch and he's composed. He can put it into tackle if he needs to. I remember one in the first half, ball went over the top. He just shoves the forward out the way. It goes out for a goal kick. You pay a hell of a lot of money for a player like the fee, especially at his age. You would.
Well, when you look at the Palace players, and I don't think they've got a player like him. Pino, to a degree, can can maybe be that kind of player.
How much did they pay for Brendan Johnson? I know he's a different player.
Did he touch the ball today?
I know he's a winger.
Honestly, I'm not. Honest to God,
He's number 11. I think.
Can I and exactly the same. My mate mentioned him the other day, and I went, "Has he even played?" I never even saw him.
But like in this market, how I'm sure he was 30 million or something.
35, 40, something like that. Yeah.
That's just like.
By the way, we matched that bid, so you know. But
he's class, isn't he?
But no, I think Enzo had a great game, and then let's talk about the second goal. I actually felt it was coming. I thought we built up a bit of momentum. We came close a few times. You mentioned the header from Trey Hume. There was a couple of times where the ball went across the box and stuff. But what a goal! Like Brian Brobbey, that was him. It was very similar to the goal against Arsenal where he just had to muscle past someone to win the ball. And it was a nice little move. I can't exactly remember who played him in. Was it Siddiqui?
It was Siddiqui.
Yeah, but I think Ronaldo in the build-up had done pretty well. Siddiqui played the ball. Siddiqui done brilliantly actually. Now I'm thinking about it, held his man off, played the ball in. And Brobbey just kind of stretches and lashes. I mean, you can tell how much he stretched for it because he gave himself cramp. Yeah. Did you not see him go down?
Yeah. I just thought he was doing a really, really big celebration.
He jumped in the crowd.
I did opposite end to me.
I was on the deck.
It was immediate. He gave himself cramp, so he's on the floor. The lads are trying to stretch it out while celebrating. But a goal he deserved, and I think Brian Brobbey, as I said, he was my man the match. His all-round performance was great, and it's nice when a striker plays that well for them to get a goal.
Yeah, and fair credit Regis as well for keeping him on the pitch, because normally he comes off 65 minutes, 60 minutes because he's he's worked his arse to the ground, but pulling this, that, and the other, and getting free kicks or whatever, or should be getting free kicks. But what I like about him as well, like the goals he scored for us now have all been very different. Like obviously his header against Bournemouth, the winning one, obviously that one against Arsenal, which was good instinct, getting there and ahead of the defender. The Spurs one, brilliant finish, but that one that took a lot of skill, a lot of skill, and you don't see that from big men really. Who had the composure to do that. He saw the keeper coming, thought right foot, dink, and it was a really, really good finish. When we look back on that, look back on the replays and everything like that, you won't. I don't think we've noticed now of how good a finish it was. Yeah. It's a really, really clever finish. Now, I like to say, he's probably done himself in as well, which was nice. But no, really good. And you know what? I'm chuffed for him as well because mentioned the fear before. The character and everything like that. I mean, the character he's got to have. Right? He's getting pulled to the floor all the time. The referee's giving him absolutely nothing, but he's still willing to get in that position. He's still willing to put himself, in that position to do that. And fair play to him. I was, like I say, really, really chuffed for him. Like,
is our last 3 league games today Brentford, Spurs, or was there one in between?
Yeah.
Spurs? League games, sorry.
Yeah.
Spurs.
Yeah.
So if you're talking Spurs gets an equaliser, Brentford wins a penalty, today scores the winner. Yeah. What more can you ask for?
I think that's why he's starting games. I think they recognise how well he's doing. I think, you said he's not very big, but there's a lot of muscle on that bloke. And that's why he maybe tires later in games and things. So you can get a good hour, 70 minutes out of Brobbey, and that's fine by me. What was interesting was it was Mayenda who came on for him. Yeah. And I think that's maybe a sign of where the manager's head's at, because I love Wilson Isidore. I think as a finisher, he's probably the best of the 3, but I think when you want the ball to go forward and stick, it needs to stick, and it doesn't do it often enough with Isidore. And it was one of them games where Palace have got a lot of people who want the ball, not a lot of pace, so they weren't breaking quickly against us, but they were trying to play it through us, and that meant when we got the opportunity to win it, they were probably going to have a lot of bodies forward as opposed to countering, and that meant when it went up there, it had to stick. And I don't think really Mayenda touched the ball much, but it was just it was an interesting quirk of the game that he came on.
At the end, though, couldn't he?
Yeah,
when it took deflection, it's a good save as well.
Well, we had a few chances towards the end. Like the best one was obviously the Hume one you mentioned, Sam.
It's a great play though.
It was, it was fantastic, and it was a fantastic save. Like you're talking about outside of Pickford, one of the. He's a good goal. He's a crack keeper.
That makes Brobbey's finish even better, doesn't it? Because he's no chumping goal for them, is he?
Yeah. So, and then in the end, to be honest, it was a routine 3 points. The lads just got it out the way. I never felt towards the end that we were particularly under threat. There's a couple of times the ball dropped in the box, but because of the doggedness of Ballard and the doggedness of Alderete, you just don't worry. When the ball drops, you kind of expect them to win it and clear it and get rid of it. And
the biggest compliment, I can give is if they, when I was sitting on the ground, if they made a 2s each and added time, it was either going to be really unlucky or a piece of class, which is like, weirdly one of the best things you can say about your defence. Do you know what I mean? You just trust them, and you think if this goes in, then it's not going to be their fault. Do you know what I mean? Like Ballard's not going to get out muscled. No one's going to lose the man. You just like when I saw Mundell go off for Sirkin, my instinct was, oh God, we've gone defensive, but you trust them to see it out, and they did, and it was routine, like you keep saying.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, it could have been. You mentioned banana skin beforehand. Could have been, because, despite their woes, despite the fact they got knocked out the cup by Macclesfield, despite Gay leaving, despite the manager coming out and saying he's off, despite all the speculation around Mateta, they still put in 11 players out who are decent, and they look, for 45 minutes or so, they look pretty organised. And I'll say it again, Sunderland teams in the past would have probably not won that game, but it's the credit of the spirit of this group that just got through the game. And I actually think, maybe I have underplayed this a little bit, we needed that, because we haven't won since the Mags game. Mags? The visitors. Sorry, not the Mags. But yeah, you agree, Anne? I mean, it's
definitely. I mean, it was 2-12 on it, so it's like, I know it was a lot of draws, but I think
we haven't been losing loads.
No, we haven't. But 2 wins in 12, so you're thinking, if we can win today and just gets us back to 8th, I think, in the league, but it just gives us that gap to teams like Palace, teams like Fulham who've lost today. It just puts us into that kind of category, thinking we can make top 10. We can make top 10. That'd be a brilliant season. We're in the top 10 in the cup run or whatever. But no, I think we probably did need that, because we've got to go to West Ham next week. Who have had a win today, and they're going to be, because they're battling like hell down the bottom, and that's going to be a difficult one. Then we've got Burnley at home.
If West Ham play today,
they beat Spurs 2-1.
So there you go.
Game at Spurs, the one.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I know Spurs are in a weird spot, but still, West Ham are going to be up for it next week.
Yeah, of course they are, and getting again keeping that unbeaten run at home. So we're still unbeaten at home. We've got Burnley next at home, who we should be beaten, but again, it's going to be a difficult game. But yeah, I do think we needed that, just for the fans and for the team as well, especially after last week, after the Brentford game, where yes, we were poor, but we saw it out last week against Everton, which was a really good performance, probably deserved to win in 90 minutes. Terrible refereeing decision, but we got through there. We got through that. And what this team's doing now is breaking new barriers. Like, we've got the fourth round of the FA Cup. It's not a big thing, hugely, is it? But it is for us, because we don't do that normally. You know what I mean? And you can see in the players at the end of the game when they're all, really up for it as well with the crowd and all. You saw Xhaka when we equalised, and Xhaka doing, bigging up the crowd and stuff. And that's what we want to see. And that. Yeah, it's huge, probably is a huge win for us, and fair play because they did deserve it. And we keep on going back to routine. I can't get it out of my head, like routine win against. You asked me this time last year, I'm like, whatever.
We haven't had many routine wins really. They've either been kind of like battling performances where that genuine. Even though we came from behind, it felt that honest. The atmosphere coming out. And anyone listening to this who was at the game will know exactly what we mean when we say that, because coming out the ground, it was just like, all right.
Yeah. And what I don't like,
I see the atmosphere in there.
And what I don't like, and I know, it got back to what was happening last year as well, when it was 2-1, there was a couple of minutes left, and there was a fair few people leaving.
I turned to me mate and said, "Why are people leaving?"
I know, and I don't like that. I know, but we might get like a bit of stick for this or whatever, but at the state of the end, because we don't know when we're going to get moments like this again. Just think of where we were 5 years ago.
No,
you know what I mean? And leaving when the team does need you, when we're battling. Maybe people thought, we've won, but for me, it's just, I think we need to be a little bit better there.
Yeah. No, I agree. I turned around and said the same. Look, I stayed right at the end. I celebrated with the players. Still made it down the stairs in time, But yeah, everyone's got their own reasons. But the point being is, pretty much every other home game this season that hasn't happened. So it makes you wonder why people have.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good performance, really good win. 3 points, as you said, and it keeps us in the mix for the top 8. No idea where we'll actually be come the end of the weekend, because there's games on Sunday and all that. But
until they play tomorrow, we're above the richest club in the world.
I was literally just about to say that. Might not be for 24 hours, but mind the gap.
Yeah, well, they're playing the League Whitman boys, so we'll not.
They've also got the best centre forward in the league. That big German bloke, he's classy.
He's great, isn't he?
Missed him today again.
Yes.
Missed him today again.
Yes, we did. So that is it for now. I guess we'll be back next with a home pubcast after. You said Burnley, didn't you? you? What's that, the fortnight? Is it
Monday night.
A Monday? We'll not be doing a podcast for that.
I've got people who pay loads of money for Sky Sports are buzzing that's on the Monday night. Sunderland home to Burnley, get in.
Yeah, I'm buzzing, but no. Well, thank you, lads. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll be back in the morning. We've got Kieran Brady on the show with Chris and Martin in the morning, which should be good. Make sure you tune in for that, and we'll catch you on the next one.